Welcome back to the channel, US Rare Coins News. Today we are looking at a coin that most people spend without a second thought, but in rare cases, it can quietly be worth far more than $1. I'm talking about the United States of America 2000 D Gold $1, and what you're about to see might completely change how you look at the coins in your pocket. Stay with me, because in this video we're going to uncover what makes the 2000 D so special, why collectors hunt certain versions of it, the rare errors that can push its value higher, and at the very end, I'll reveal what this coin is actually selling for in today's market, including real auction results. Now take a close look at the coin on your screen. This is the 2000 D Sacagawea dollar, minted in Denver. You'll see the D mint mark just below the date on the front. The obverse features Sacagawea carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, a powerful and symbolic design by Glenna Goodacker. Rotate it over and you'll see the soaring eagle on the reverse, surrounded by the words United States of America and $1. At first glance, it looks gold. But here's the twist, it's not solid gold. It's actually a manganese brass-clad coin, which gives it that rich golden color. And when it was first released in the year 2000, it was meant to replace the paper dollar in circulation. The U.S. Mint struck over 518 million of these at the Denver Mint alone. That's a huge number. So if there are hundreds of millions out there, how can this coin be valuable? That's where it gets interesting. Most 2000 D Sacagawea dollars are only worth face value $1. Maybe $2 or $3 in uncirculated condition. But condition is everything. If you find a 2000 D graded MS67 or higher by a top grading service, suddenly you're not talking about $1 anymore. High-grade examples have sold for several $100s, and in rare cases, around $1,000 when demand is strong and the strike is nearly flawless, but condition isn't the only factor. Let's talk about errors. Because this is where collectors get excited, some 2000 D coins have been discovered with off-center strikes. Others show double strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks. And then there are the famous mule errors from the year 2000, coins that were accidentally struck with the Sacagawea obverse and a Washington quarter reverse. Those were struck in Philadelphia, not Denver, but they turned the entire series into headline news. That mistake sold for tens of thousands of dollars and made people suddenly start checking every golden dollar they saw. Now imagine this. You're going through a roll of dollar coins from the bank. Most look ordinary. But one has a strange misalignment. Or the edge looks unusual. Or the strike is incredibly sharp with a deep, satin-like finish. That moment, that pause, that's what coin collecting is all about. The 2000 D also had special Cheerios promotional coins early in the year, though those were Philadelphia issues. Still, the excitement around that promotion pushed collectors to examine every detail of these golden dollars. Tiny tail feather details on the eagle became the difference between common and rare. So what should you look for on your 2000 D? First, check the mint mark. Make sure it's a clear D. Second, inspect the strike. Are the details in Sacagawea's hair sharp? Is the baby's face clearly defined? Third, look for errors, off-center designs, unusual thickness, doubling in the letters, or cracks running through the devices, and finally, consider condition. If your coin looks almost perfect, no scratches, no dullness, strong luster, it could be worth grading. Here's where we talk real numbers. In circulated condition, the 2000 D Sacagawea dollar is generally worth $1. In bright uncirculated condition, you might see $2 to $5. In certified MS65 to MS66, values can range from around $20 to $100 depending on eye appeal and demand. Exceptional MS67 examples have sold for several $100s, and top population pieces have approached or exceeded $1,000 at auction. Error coins are a different story. Minor errors might sell for $50 to a few $100s. Major dramatic errors can climb much higher depending on rarity and demand. That's the difference between spending it and saving it. The 2000 D Sacagawea dollar represents the start of a new era in U.S. coinage. It was the first year of issue. First-year coins always carry a certain historical importance. It marked a shift toward honoring Native American heritage and modernizing the dollar coin design. And even though it didn't fully replace the paper dollar, it became a key piece in modern collections worldwide. So now I have to ask you, do you own a 2000 Sacagawea dollar? Have you ever checked it closely? And if you found one in perfect condition, would you send it for grading or keep it as a raw treasure in your collection? Let me know in the comments. I read them. Today we discovered that the United States of America 2000 gold $1 might look ordinary, but in the right condition or with the right error, it can be worth far more than its face value. We talked about its design, its massive mintage, the importance of grade, and the auction prices that prove even modern coins can surprise you. Top 2. Today we are looking at a coin so small, so easy to lose, that if you dropped it on the floor, you might miss a piece of American history worth thousands of dollars. That I'm talking about the United States of America 1841 gold $1. A coin smaller than a modern dime, struck nearly 2 centuries ago, during a time of westward expansion, gold rush fever, and massive change in America. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why collectors fight to own one, and how some examples have sold for prices that shock even experienced numismatists. Let's start by really seeing this coin. Imagine a tight close-up shot. The coin rests on your palm. It's tiny. Only about 13 millimeters wide. Thin. Lightweight. Struck in real gold. On the front, you see a Liberty head facing left, wearing a coronet inscribed with the word Liberty. Around her are 13 stars, representing the original colonies, and the date 1841 below. Flip it over slowly. On the back, inside a simple wreath, you'll see the words $1 and the year. Around the edge, United States of America. This design is known as the Liberty Head Gold Dollar, created by Christian Gobrecht. And the 1841 issue belongs to the very first type of U.S. gold dollars ever made. That's right. The gold dollar denomination didn't even exist until 1849. But in 1841, what we're actually looking at is part of the early Liberty Head series of small gold coins leading into the official gold dollar era. And that connection to early gold coinage history is what makes this piece so fascinating. Now here's the part most people don't realize: the 1841 gold coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. No mint mark. Just pure early American gold coinage. And while the mintage numbers weren't extremely tiny, survival rates are a completely different story. These coins circulated hard. They were used in everyday commerce. Carried in pockets. Dropped. Worn down. Melted during later gold recalls. So finding one today in high grade is incredibly difficult. Picture this for a moment. It's the 1840s. No credit cards. No paper dollars trusted everywhere. Gold and silver are real money. This tiny coin could buy goods, meals, maybe even cover a day's wages. It passed through countless hands, and somehow, some of them survived. Now let's talk about what makes the 1841 so collectible. First, condition is everything. Because of the coin's small size, it wore down quickly. Liberty's hair details often fade. The stars flatten. The wreath on the reverse loses definition. So if you see sharp curls in Liberty's hair and clear veins in the wreath leaves, that's a big deal. Second, eye appeal matters. Original luster on an 1841 gold dollar is rare. Many have been cleaned over the years, which lowers value. A natural, untouched surface with rich gold color can dramatically increase the price. Third, varieties. While the 1841 isn't famous for dramatic error, coins like modern pieces, die cracks, repunched dates, and slight design variations can add collector interest. Specialists study tiny differences in the coronet, star placement, and lettering spacing. To most people, they look identical. To collectors, those differences tell stories, and here's a cliffhanger you might not expect: because the coin is so small, counterfeits exist. Some are surprisingly convincing. That means authentication is crucial. If you ever come across one raw, you should strongly consider having it evaluated by a professional grading service. Now let's talk numbers. In lower circulated grades, an 1841 gold dollar typically sells in the range of about $1,000 to $2,000, depending on where and I appeal. In mid-level uncirculated grades, values can climb to $5,000 to $10,000. And in high-grade mint state condition, especially MS65 or better, auction results have reached well over $20,000, yes. For a coin smaller than your fingernail. That's the power of rarity, history, and survival, and remember, this coin predates the California gold rush. It was struck in a country that was still expanding, still forming its identity. When you hold it, you're holding pre-Civil War America. That connection adds something no modern coin can replicate. So now I have to ask you, if you had the chance to own an 1841 gold dollar, would you keep it locked away as an investment? Or would you display it as a piece of history? And do you prefer small gold coins like this, or the larger, more dramatic gold pieces? Let me know in the comments. I love seeing what collectors around the world are chasing. Today we explored the United States of America 1841 gold $1, a tiny coin with massive historical weight. We looked at its design, its early place in American gold coinage, the importance of condition, the risk of counterfeits, and real-world market values that show just how desirable it is. Top 3. Today we are looking at a gold $1 coin dated 1789 to 1797, and here's the shocking truth. No official United States gold $1 coin even existed during those years. So what is this mysterious 1789 to 1797 gold $1 people talk about? Is it a hidden treasure from the founding of America, or something completely different? By the end of this video, I'll show you what coins were actually being made in that era, why confusion exists around these dates, what early US gold coins really look like, and how much authentic pieces from the 1790s have sold for at auction. Let's step back in time for a moment. The year 1789 marks the beginning of George Washington's presidency. The US Mint did not even begin producing federal coins until 1793. And the first official US gold coins were struck in 1795, not 1789, and not as $1 pieces. That's the key detail. If you see a coin claiming to be a United States gold $1 dated between 1789 and 1797, it is not an official US Mint gold dollar. The US gold dollar denomination didn't appear until 1849. So right away, we're dealing with either a privately made token, a fantasy piece, a commemorative, or in some cases, a replica. Now let's talk about what real early US gold coins from that period actually were. In 1795, the US Mint introduced the $5 gold piece known as the half eagle. One of the earliest designs was the capped bust right type, part of the early federal coinage era under the Coinage Act of 1792. Shortly after, we saw designs like the draped bust series. These coins were larger, heavier, and made of solid gold, but they were not $1 coins. If we zoom in on an authentic 1795 or 1796 gold piece in a close-up shot, you'll see Liberty with flowing hair or a draped bust, and an eagle on the reverse. The craftsmanship is bold but slightly uneven, reflecting the early days of the mint. Hand-prepared dies. Manual presses. Limited technology. Now imagine holding that in your hand. That's early America. Fresh out of independence. A brand new nation experimenting with its own money. So why do people search for a 1789 to 1797 gold $1? Because those years are iconic. They represent the birth of the country. And many private mints or modern novelty producers have created fantasy coins using those dates to attract collectors. Some are gold-plated. Some are solid gold but modern. Some are souvenirs, and here's where things get interesting. Even though there was no official gold $1 coin during 1789 to 1797, authentic US gold coins from the 1790s are extremely valuable today. A genuine 1795 half eagle in circulated condition can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. In higher grades, auction prices have reached hundreds of thousands. Rare varieties and well-preserved examples can exceed $500,000 depending on condition and provenance. That's serious money. But if someone offers you a tiny 1789 gold dollar for a bargain price, that's your red flag. Size matters. Weight matters. Design style matters. Early U.S. gold coins were larger denominations. And they follow specific design standards documented in mint records. This is where knowledge protects collectors that if you ever come across a piece claiming to be an 18th century U.S. gold dollar, check the details carefully. Look at the design quality. Compare it to known early types. Consider professional authentication. The difference between a historic treasure and a modern fantasy piece can mean thousands, even hundreds of thousands, of dollars. Now let me ask you something: that if the US had actually made a gold $1 coin in 1789, what do you think it would look like? Would it feature George Washington? A Liberty cap? An early eagle design? Drop your idea in the comments, and here's another question. Would you rather own a tiny $1 gold coin from the 1840s, or a large $5 gold coin from the 1790s that connects directly to America's earliest years? Today we uncovered the truth about the so-called United States of America 1789 to 1797 gold $1. We learned that no official $1 gold coin existed in that period, explored what real early U.S. gold coins looked like, and saw how authentic 1790s gold pieces can sell for tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. History matters. Details matter. And in coin collecting, a single date can change everything. Top 4. Today we are looking at a gold $1 coin dated 1825 to 1829, and here's the twist: the United States didn't even make a gold dollar during those years. So if you've seen a coin claiming to be an 1825 to 1829 United States gold $1, you're either looking at a fantasy piece, a private token, or something misunderstood. And in this video, I'm going to show you what was actually happening in American gold coinage during those years, what real gold coins from that era look like, why the confusion exists, and how authentic 1820s US gold coins have sold for serious money at auction. Let's rewind to the 1820s. America was still young. The US Mint had been operating for only a few decades. Gold coins absolutely existed, but not in the $1 denomination. The gold dollar wouldn't appear until 1849. Between 1825 and 1829, the mint was producing larger gold denominations, including the $5 half eagle and the $10 eagle. One of the main designs of that era was the capped bust type, part of the early American gold series. Picture a close-up shot of an authentic 1825 half eagle. You'll see Liberty facing left, wearing a soft cap with curls flowing down her neck. The word Liberty is inscribed on the headband. Stars circle the edge. Flip it over and you'll see a strong eagle with a shield on its chest, clutching arrows and an olive branch. United States of America around the rim. 5D, below. It's bold. It's historic. And it's solid gold. Now here's where things get interesting, because there was no official gold $1 coin from 1825 to 1829, any small gold coin dated those years claiming to be a $1 piece is not a regular US Mint issue. Some modern producers create tribute coins using those dates because they sound historic. Others are replicas inspired by early designs. Some are gold-plated novelties. That doesn't automatically mean they're worthless. But they are not official federal coinage, and this is why knowledge is power in coin collecting. That if you're chasing early American gold, you need to know the timeline. The gold dollar denomination started in 1849 with the Liberty head design. Before that, gold coins came in larger values. So when someone says 1825 gold dollar, your first thought should be, that didn't exist. But here's the exciting part: authentic US gold coins from 1825 to 1829 are extremely desirable today. An 1825 or 1826 half eagle in circulated condition can sell for several $1,000s. Higher grade examples can reach tens of thousands. Rare varieties or coins with exceptional eye appeal have crossed auction blocks for well over $50,000, depending on condition and rarity. Now imagine the history behind those coins. They were minted before railroads connected the country. Before photography was common. Before the Civil War was even a thought. These coins traveled in saddlebags, merchant pouches, and wooden cash drawers. Some may have crossed state lines when America was still expanding westward, and here's a detail many people miss: early gold coins from the 1820s often show irregular strikes. The technology wasn't perfect. Dies were hand-prepared. Some coins show weak areas in Liberty's curls or softness in the eagle's feathers. Collectors study these traits closely. Certain die marriages and varieties are much scarcer than others, so if you ever see a small gold coin dated 1825 to 1829, here's what to do. First, check the size. Real early U.S. gold coins of that era were larger than the later gold dollar. Second, check the denomination. If it says $1, it's not an official issue from those years. Third, verify weight and gold content. Authentic pieces follow strict standards. And finally, consider professional authentication if there's any doubt. Now I want to ask you something: would you rather own a true 1820s half-eagle with nearly 200 years of history behind it, or a later 1849 gold dollar that started the smallest U.S. gold denomination? Which one would you add to your collection? Drop your answer in the comments. I'm curious what serious collectors prefer. Today we uncovered the truth about the so-called United States of America 1825 to 1829 gold $1. We learned that no official gold dollar existed during those years, explored the real gold coins that were produced, and looked at auction values that prove early American gold can be worth thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, of dollars. This is why details matter. A single denomination can change everything. Top 5. Today we are looking at a tiny gold coin that survived one of the most dramatic periods in American history, the years right after the Civil War, and despite being smaller than your fingernail, it can be worth thousands of dollars today. That I'm talking about the United States of America 1865 to 1869 gold $1. A coin born at the end of war, struck during Reconstruction, and quietly disappearing from circulation while the nation was rebuilding itself. In this video, I'll show you exactly what this coin looks like, why these specific dates are so important, the rare varieties collectors hunt for, and what real examples have sold for at auction. Take a close look at the coin on screen. Zoom in tight. This is the Type 3 gold dollar, part of the long-running gold dollar series that began in 1849. On the front, you'll see a large Liberty head wearing a Native American-style feathered headdress. The word Liberty is inscribed across the band. Around the edge are 13 stars, and the date sits below. Flip it over and you'll see a simple but elegant wreath encircling the words $1 and the year. It's small. About 15 millimeters in diameter. Made of 90% gold. Lightweight, yet powerful. Now think about the timing. The year 1865 marks the end of the Civil War. President Lincoln was assassinated that same year. The country was divided, wounded, and trying to rebuild. Gold coins like these weren't heavily circulating in the South during the war, and even in the North, paper currency had taken over much of daily commerce. That's part of what makes these 1865 to 1869 gold dollars so fascinating. Mintages during these years were relatively low compared to earlier in the series. For example, the 1865 issue had a modest production, and by 1869, mintages were extremely small. Many were saved as keepsakes, but many were also melted over time as gold prices fluctuated. Now here's where collectors start paying attention. Condition is everything with these coins. Because they're small and soft, they show wear quickly. Liberty's cheek is often the first place to flatten. The feather details fade. The wreath lines blur. So when you see a sharp, crisp strike with strong luster flashing under light, that's special. Imagine a slow rotation shot under bright lighting. You see cartwheel luster spin across the surface. No major scratches. Full feather detail. That's when the value jumps. Let's talk about specific dates in this range. The 1865 and 1866 are collectible but more available in circulated grades. The 1867 and 1868 become tougher in high condition. And the 1869. That's the key date of the late 1860s Type 3 series. With a very low mintage, it's one of the scarcer Philadelphia issues of the entire gold dollar series. Now here's something a lot of people don't realize: because these coins were small and valuable, many were mounted in jewelry. That means clean surfaces, rim damage, or light filing marks are common today. Finding an original, untouched example is much harder than the mintage numbers suggest, and then there are varieties. Some dates show repunched dates or minor die cracks. They're not dramatic modern-style errors, but to specialists, they matter. Small differences in the date placement or star alignment can create collectible subtypes that so what are they worth? In circulated condition, common dates from 1865 to 1868 typically sell in the range of about $300 to $600, depending on where and I appeal. In higher uncirculated grades, values can range from $2,000 to $5,000. The scarcer 1869 issue often commands significantly more, with uncirculated examples reaching several $1,000s, and high-grade certified pieces climbing even higher at major auctions. That's a serious return for a coin that originally represented just $1, and here's the emotional part, this coin lived through Reconstruction. It existed when the nation was redefining itself. When railroads were expanding. When new amendments were reshaping the Constitution. Holding it connects you directly to that era. Now I want to know, do you own a Type 3 gold dollar? And if you could choose any date between 1865 and 1869, which one would you add to your collection? Tell me in the comments. I always enjoy hearing what collectors are hunting. Today we explored the United States of America 1865 to 1869 gold $1, a tiny gold coin with massive historical weight. We looked at its design, its Civil War era context, the importance of condition, the scarcer 1869 issue, and real market values that show why collectors still chase these pieces. If you enjoyed this journey into post-Civil War gold coinage, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the next rare coin story on your screen. Because sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest history, and one of them might be waiting for you to discover it.